Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory Podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. What's good, Danny? How have you been?
I've been good, dude. Relaxing weekend. I don't think I told you finally, bro. So London did not happen, by the way. Dude, disappointing, but honestly worked out, bro, because I am run the fuck down from post like wedding, bro. Like just I had to go to Dallas on Wednesday for some like work/family things. So what happened, just so you know, so there was like tornado warnings in Dallas when I was there, bro. So like our flight got canceled leaving, but then all the people who were gonna fly Dallas to London now got rerouted to Miami to London. So like my flight benefits were like I can just hop on a flight through Gina were gone because I fly standby, right? So now all these people have paid tickets and they just took dude, there was 36 open seats from Miami to London on Tuesday, and it was -5 on Friday morning, the day of the flight.
Damn.
Like they overbooked it, bro. So yeah, I'm like, bro, I'm not dealing with an airport. I barely made it home. I'm like, yo, this is a sign from God. Like, just relax, stay your ass at home. So I did that. Chill with the wife, which is great. We set up the garage, bro, like with a couch to vibe out because man, it's officially way too fucking hot to be outside. Like backyard vibes are postponed until further notice, bro. Like it's way too hot out there, bro. But yeah, man, it's all good. Drank for like the last time. I started 75 hard today, so 75 days straight of just whatever the workout entails, but also no drinking for 2.5 months. So very excited about that, bro. But how about you, man? How's life been treating you?
Life's been good. It's been very hot over here as well.
What's very hot for you?
Very hot to me is like 80 degrees plus.
Okay. So every day here is 95.
Jesus. Okay, you definitely won. At least this part of California. But for me, I like to hang out in the hot tub. Like the pool is just way too cold for me. It's got to be 130 degrees for me to get in that cold ass pool. And obviously the hot tub and the sun isn't the best combination. But first world problems. Outside of that,
but there's still a lot of problems though, so I have respect.
Yeah, right. I mean, like at the end of the day, we still have shit that makes life kind of annoying at times, so we got to talk about them. But outside of that, I'm happy that I'm continuing the running streak.
Are
definitely
you?
not.
Nice.
Yeah, 5 miles regularly. Definitely not doing 13 miles anytime soon again. But for me, I think just because I was able to keep so much weight off and be at the lowest weight I've been in, I don't even know how many years. That just motivated me to not screw it up by just going back to my routine of not running. And I genuinely enjoy it now, even on the treadmill. Like I'll do 5 miles. I won't like be so eager to stop. So that's been nice.
So 5 miles, like you're averaging like 4 to 5 miles per run?
Yep.
How often are you running now though, now that you don't have like an actual like goal to meet?
I try to do a minimum of 3 days a week of 5 miles.
Dude. Yeah, dude, 15 miles compared to what you were doing pre-training is still like mind-blowing, right? So like, dude, I'm the opposite. So I'm trying to get back in this. So the part of 75 hard, bro, watch like, I bet you the algorithm picks up on this conversation and we start getting like clicks for this, bro, because like you just type in 75 hard and there's like a million videos of like what people think is gonna happen once it's like almost like saying, hey, I ran a half marathon. Like it's like, oh really, tell me more about it. So like when you say you're doing like 75 hard, it's like, oh, what do you want me to say to you? Congrats, like you're a god, you're a king. But so there is one workout every day that has to be outside. So like I'm gonna get back into running, but bro, I would say post wedding, dude, the running has been minimal, bro. Like, and I did like a 3 mile run like 2 weeks ago. And bro, that was a struggle. Like, bro, I'm telling you, I legit was asking myself, like, this can't be the same body that ran a full marathon 3.5 months ago. Like, there's no way I did 26 miles and I could barely do 2 right now. So it's wild how quickly you can lose it if you don't actually like go about it. But I've also been eating like shit, bro. I know I put on weight since the wedding. Like every excuse to drink and eat, I'm like, bro, who gives a fuck? Let's celebrate life kind of a thing. But
no, you deserve it. You gotta
I think so
fuck
too,
around
bro.
for a couple
Yeah,
weeks.
dude. I had to be like strict as fuck. It worked out. Oh, dude, a lot of the photos. Side note: the wedding photos came out. So Gina and I are like halfway through them, but bro, they're fire.
Okay, can't wait
Fire.
because that's where like all my photos are. I don't.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
whole time I was drinking and
yeah.
dancing and shit. And I'm like, I have like 3 photos.
Yeah. A lot of people said the same thing. They're like, bro, I don't have any photos to give you. Like, we're like, no, but they're really good, bro. See, I'll send you when I get all of them. I'll send you the photos of you and Sarah. But yeah, man, all first world problems, all good shit on our end. But let's get to it, man. Episode 178, episode 177 is up everywhere. But dude, I feel like we have to start off. I know we try to do like little niche topics here and there, but again, this one's too big of a news story to not talk about it first. So Diddy's has a video. I feel like we can't say alleged anymore because like this is pretty obvious. Yeah. So there's a video of Diddy in 2016 where he's at a hotel with Cassie. Cassie seems to be exiting their hotel room, and he chases her down in a towel and nothing else, and then kicks her while she's on the floor. And then I didn't see the second part of the video, bro, but apparently there's also he threw like a flower base
pot or something.
Yeah. I don't know if it made contact with her, but it was clear it was thrown in her direction. But the kicking shit was crazy, dude, because I don't know if you remember, like this was like so long ago. I know you're not into sports, but they kicked this dude out the NFL, Ray Rice.
Yeah,
there was a there was a video of him like spitting on his girl. He pushed her and then he kicked the living shit out of her. And regardless of him apologizing, the world was done, right? So I think that's kind of like where we should start off with this topic. Like, I think when there's video evidence, it changes the mood, right? Because we've all been saying, well, Diddy, kind of shady, but we've all kind of known, blah, blah, blah. But when we see video, like first, what was your reaction? And then secondly, how do you think the world's going to react to this?
It's interesting because I was a combination of not so surprised, but I guess never could visualize what the allegations would look like. And I always believed Cassie. I just never knew. It's hard to visualize the severity of it, even if the words are in a document. And it just doesn't hit the same if you don't physically have some sort of visual to put all the pieces together and understand what took place. I think I was just kind of surprised that the video actually even came out at this point, and
which still isn't clear though, right?
What still isn't clear?
Like why it came out, like how
why it came out. I don't think it's clear, but I've heard several people say it was basically from the Fed raid. Like Diddy paid for the tape, and then during the raid, it got stolen by the feds, and then they released it, and that's the reason why it was hidden all of these years.
Got it. So the public's obviously up in arms. Multiple outlets, including Revolt, which he used to own, had to even make a comment about like, hey, we don't condone this, blah, blah, blah. So your just thoughts on how do you think, like for him, bro? Because I think we were thinking him getting the raid and him getting in cuffs and all that stuff, like it was over for him a month and a half ago. Bro, I think it's definitely over now, bro, because I was thinking before maybe he just goes away for a couple of years and like just comes back as like some beloved hip hop figure, but not really in the mix anymore. Bro, now it's like, because dude, think about it, no one can put their arm around him, bro. Like this, this is not like a beef that you don't want to take sides. This is like, bro, like if you agree with anything of this, you're as bad as him.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely plenty of other celebrities who've had allegations or even on paper have been confirmed to have abused their wives or done heinous shit, like Dr. Dre, for instance. But I think, again, the video evidence and imagery, I think, is what really sells the like demonic almost perception of these guys. So I think he's very unlucky in this case. But I feel like he might, and I even heard this, I think it was from his former bodyguard, that he was considering offing himself before the video even came out. I think he's so
depressed.
That, but also like attention hungry or thirsty that he couldn't just mind his damn business, be a billionaire in some random ass country in off the coast of wherever. I think he like needs to be in the limelight. So like just knowing that he can't do that and no one fucks with him might get to a point where he's like, I just rather die.
That's crazy, dude, to even think that we're here. Cause yeah, bro, Diddy was our entire childhood, dude. Like that's like
right.
Yo, that's so crazy. And it sucks now because like now you start seeing all these clips and like obviously you're seeing it through the lens of the video, right? Like you're seeing it through the lens of this guy who had his house raided by the feds, all these allegations. So now all these little clips of him and Justin Bieber. Bro, there's a video of him and bro, what's the famous UK drill rapper, bro? Whatever, like a UK drill rapper.
Skepta?
Gigs. There's a video of him like cheersing Gigs and being super suspect. Like bro, like why are you being so friendly? Like, yo, like fall back a little bit. Because they're meeting for the first time, and it's like, yo, like relax. There's videos of him at the Met Gala with Cassie, and then the mic is given to Cassie to make a comment about like her life with Diddy, and you can see his face just go, oh fuck. Like, God forbid he's gonna say something. Like, bro, so like again, but like seeing it through these lies now, vision is, perfect right now for us, 2020 in hindsight. But it sucks, man, because if he did all these things, fuck him. He deserves everything that's coming to him. But it's also just wild how you can think you have a perception of someone. And even though our perception of Diddy was always a little like, sketch, you didn't think it was this bad, bro. Like,
right.
This just felt bad. This is like a woman, you clearly have 60 to 80, 100 pounds on her. There clearly is a power dynamic here. You're 20 years older than her. Like all of it coming together just felt fucking like it wasn't like a shouting match, right? Like couples fight. This was like he's beating the shit out of her, bro. And then like if you do it that one time and she's alleging you've done this the entire relationship, well, it's way easier to believe her now because at least we have one evidence of you doing, even though it only was maybe it was only the one time.
Exactly. And I think all of this makes me even question other celebrities, and we don't have to get all the way back into Drake again, no Diddy. But even with
I'm glad it's back to no Diddy and not no Drizzy. Like, let's just move on. At least it's back to no Diddy.
I feel you on that one. But like even with Drake, like now I'm like, do I even really trust anything he says? Because I mean, I didn't really care all that much about Diddy, but I didn't think he would be capable of something maybe this extreme. So it just makes me question every celebrity that I kind of admire in certain ways. And I think in this case, it's particularly disgusting because one, he claimed his innocence like apparently 5 days or something ago.
Like a week ago, bro. That was the crazy thing. He's like, shame on you for believing the lies. And it's like, bro,
and
right?
The truth will come to light or some shit.
Yeah. And then Academics made a post is like, or probably Grand Chat, like one of them. But it was like, you knew it was going to be bad when all he kept doing was posting pictures of his kids. Like, see, like trying to get sympathy. It's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, brother love. Like, yeah, man, crazy though. Crazy.
And this thing, and I think it's in this case, the public is less likely to accept any apologies or his request for forgiveness because it's blatantly clear this wasn't like this one spur of the moment thing, like he just lost his shit and was drunk or something. Like this seems like it's been going on for like damn near 50 years, like with all kinds of women, all kinds of people that he's fucked over, business deals. Like there's nothing he can do to make it seem like, hey,
to change
I made
the narrative.
This one mistake. Please forgive me.
Yeah. I think the narrative is done, bro. Because again, I think people already have had this like weird perception of him going on damn near 30 plus years, right? So I think now with this kind of social media thing, like, bro, like again, if this would have happened like maybe back in like 2005, not that it's okay, but it's like there's almost like a weird thing back then. We're like, oh, bro, like again, there's no video evidence. It could be like a story in the paper, and then we move the fuck on, right? With this, man, it makes it, even though we move on quicker now, when the spotlight's on that one particular thing, it makes it feel like that's the only thing happening in the world. right? Like when this Diddy video came out on Sunday or whenever the fuck I got back, like it was like that was the only thing happening that day, and that was insane.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and I also wonder. I mean, to speak on what other relationships he's had or who else he's done this to. I wonder if Young Miami at all, like that girl, he's the rapper, the City Girls rapper, he was dating for a minute. If she ever dealt with some of this shit, I know they've done some freaky stuff, but I don't know if it ever got abusive. But she seems like the type of person that would enjoy being abused and treated like shit. So who knows? But
yeah, and I feel like, and again, you don't know when this stuff was, and if he was like only that way until 2019, and then he, you know, joined a church and changed his approach or anything. But yeah, it's just very odd, dude. But I think what's also interesting, bro, because again, like it's obviously no one's gonna come out and support him, right? So that's not gonna happen, right? Like no one's gonna say, well, that's not the Diddy I know. I think people are just like, let's just see how this plays out. Let me keep my mouth shut so I don't fuck up my own money. But what I do think is interesting, bro, is that like I feel like Jay-Z has not been brought up enough or hasn't been around as much as we would think he would be around on other things since the raid of Diddy's house was like 2 months ago, right? Like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, I think 2 months ago.
Yeah, dude. And like, again, I'm not saying they're best friends by any means, bro, but they seem to have always done things together, at least over the last 4 or 5 years, bro. Think about like all the Rock Nation brunches, all the reverence to each other about being like the 2 first black billionaires in music. Like they've been to be pretty close, right? So I'm not saying Jay-Z knows anything about this, like behind closed doors activities, but it's just odd, bro. Especially me as a basketball fan, like Jay-Z would be at every basketball game come playoff time, and he's nowhere to be seen, bro. Like I feel like I haven't heard of him at all, and it's just weird because you would think, like again, I'm not saying he's next. Like again, I fucking love Jay-Z. I hope not, but it's just odd how like someone who Puffy is really aligned with is also just has disappeared for the last 60 to 90 days.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I know pictures of him and like Aaliyah are floating around again. My wife actually showed me that, and I guess
Jay-Z.
Yeah, with Jay-Z, and I guess the theory is like he's, you know, just like R. Kelly and Drake and messing around.
The thing is, I don't know how much you knew about this when you were growing up in LA, but again, just because like I had my aunt who was just very much like a teenager, very aware of all that stuff at that time. Like, dude, the weird thing back then wasn't so from like the perception was Jay-Z was mad at R. Kelly for dating Aaliyah because he was jealous. It wasn't because he had like a problem with the situation, right? So that's always been kind of out there. Jay-Z has done 2 albums and his boys with R. Kelly for at least a certain extent. So it's just like he's always been around, and it's almost like, bro, like you'd be stupid to not know certain things if you were standing in his shoes.
Yeah, no, I think I'm fully under the impression that most of these rappers are either complicit or just doing the exact same stuff as what Diddy or R. Kelly or any of these guys are guilty of. I don't know if that necessarily proves Jay-Z is guilty of the same things, but I know for a fact he has to have knowledge of
at
this
least
stuff
knowledge,
with Diddy,
bro.
Because like even we had the rumors. Like there's no way he didn't firsthand hear it from like the security guard or some shit.
Correct. Yeah, these rumors go all the way to India, bro. So like if I knew these rumors when I was 12 years old in Delhi, you definitely knew it or knew some capacity of it, just being in that circle. So what do you think the next domino is to drop? Do you think it's another big celeb gets pinned with something, or do we think this is just going to be like the official, like there's going to be like a hearing for Diddy and he really gets fucked now faster because the video's out and stuff?
I mean, legally, I not too familiar with how this stuff operates. But I do think, I mean, didn't he already pay Cassie off?
Correct. So but I think that case is still ongoing, dude. He's not allowed to speak about her specifically because of the settlements. Yes, he did pay her. He did pay her.
Okay, so then would that explain why he didn't mention her when he apologized?
So that's what
people are mad about that.
That's exactly why. According to the legal people who are experts online. Okay. I don't know that means for anything, but apparently he could not say her name because of the settlement.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Because I know people were just clowning him for not mentioning her, and you would think that'd be obvious, but if you couldn't legally do it, then I don't know what people want in that instance. But yeah, I think at this point, I don't think any criminal charges can be pressed because I think it's past the
like the statutes or whatever,
statute of limitations or whatever. But in terms of other people going down, that's tough. I think without evidence, like, it's hard to predict, but I wouldn't be surprised if people get slandered in a similar way to like Drake or whoever, and people just kind of publicly crucify them in terms of their PR and their ability to just be seen as a positive role model in the public eye. I could see that happening to a Jay-Z or someone else pretty soon, because people get like, once they take one down, they're on to the next.
Yeah.
You're guilty by association.
So speaking of association, how do you think his son is feeling after like a week after dropping a diss track to 50 Cent about like the feds and talking shit about his dad? Like, I love Christian Combs, but I feel like, bro, like, come on, dog.
I know he seems like a person who's actually like pretty down to earth and would be chill despite his dad being a damn near or a billionaire. But the fact that he jumped in, especially like, of all people, you probably have knowledge of some of the crazy shit your dad's done. Like, why would you just open yourself up to more eyeballs, and with like also the one person you shouldn't want to beef with?
Yeah. Also, dude, like 30 years older than you. Like just
like, what are you gonna get out of it? I don't understand it. Like, I get it, like you're defending a family member and stuff, but in my mind, it just seemed smarter for everyone to just shut up. And I think he was probably empowered by everybody was empowered by the Drake Kendrick thing. It seemed like everyone was coming out of the woodworks, like Shaq and Shannon Sharp and shit. Like, everybody's just like, you say my name, I'm going at you, or anyone around me.
Oh, you mean they were charged up in the sense of like, yo, fuck it, I want to beef. Like, you got a problem?
Yeah, I think like gotcha. Just like everybody wanted smoke. So like for the past month, so everybody was just calling people out, like even if it wasn't necessarily the best move.
Did you, bro? Honestly, I would say that about the fucking comment section under some of our posts lately. I'm like, bro, you guys are fucking aggressive with these comments, bro. But we'll get into that later. But do you know like the context about the Shannon Sharp and the Shaq thing?
I mean, didn't he basically just say Shaq was not as valuable or as good as, you know, he thinks he was?
Kind of. So, dude, side note, I won't make this long, I promise. So Shaq was giving the MVP of the NBA to a player, right? On air. So like the player was like on a Zoom, right? And he would say, dude, congrats on winning the MVP. But in that like award ceremony, quote unquote, which is only like 2 minutes long, he says, I didn't vote for you, I voted for the other guy. So Shannon Sharp is like, bro, how are you using that moment to be a bitter like dude? Because, and he's like, yo, you're being bitter because clearly this guy is more dominant than you ever were. And then it went up again. So like, I don't agree with the comment Shannon made about like how good of a player Shaq is.
Yeah.
Bro, I think a lot of people were like, bro, Shaq, how the fuck are you using that moment to say, oh, by the way, like you're not as good as the other guy who finished second? It's
Got it. I didn't have that context. Yeah, I would have been pissed at Shaq too then.
It's like, bro, you're fucking being a hater, dog. Like, just give me my award and walk away. Like,
yeah, that's shady.
It is shady. So yeah, again, but then he came out with a whole diss track. But I do agree with you. I think a lot of people recently have been empowered because of the beef. And again, I don't know if it's like a money move or it's just like it feels like the norm to get attention. Because again, I think it's died down these last 2 weeks, thank God. But I think the beef thing has just been at the forefront of everything that we've been talking about lately. So maybe that's why as well. But again, we'll see how it plays out. But again, awful for Cassie and awful if other victims went through that as well. So whatever happens to Diddy, if it's just, hopefully he gets what he deserves. Speaking of beefs though, Yachty finally spoke on the beef. Couple comments. I don't think anything stood out crazy to me, but it was just more of the idea like, all right, finally someone who's on like Drake's camp, kind of, right? Or like close allegiance to Drake is finally speaking on it. So like your thoughts on his comments, or did you hear what he said? Do you want me to like kind of repeat what he said?
Yeah, why not just repeat what he said? I did hear it.
Well, he kind of just said like it was a lose-lose situation from Drake for Drake from the beginning. He said the public already decided that Kendrick was going to win from the start, and it wasn't his place to get involved because there was no need for him to get involved. So those are like the main headlining comments from the I think it's his own podcast actually.
Yeah. Based on what I saw in that recap, I felt like he kind of said all he could say. I didn't really expect much out of him because I feel like he's just not qualified to really choose one side over the other. Like Drake's his boy. I think he was still more objective than I expected. He didn't trash Kendrick. From what I understand, he respects Kendrick a lot, even prior to all this. Had mentioned that. So for me, I'm like, I don't like Yachty's not someone I don't value his opinion so much in this instance on like who's better. I think I was more so curious what he thought of anything because I'm curious what Drake thinks. And I would assume.
Yeah, I don't think we got that insight from. Yeah, I think he tried to like whatever private conversations they seem to be having, that wasn't really shared.
So I thought he was going to be kind of the messenger for Drake. And I would imagine Drake kind of feels the same way, like, oh, it was lose. Like you call me a PDF file and all this other shit. But if I walked away with anything, I think it was just very clear that he didn't think Drake won the battle.
Yeah, right. And you would think someone on Drake's side would say that or allude to that kind of a thing, right? But I think he also gave himself an out by saying it was a lose-lose situation, blah, blah, blah. But this is, I feel like the crazy thing about this specific beef, Drake v. Kendrick, is that I think everyone in hip hop, like in the industry, all respect. I think this is the issue for Drake in this situation. I think everyone fucks with Kendrick, like in a real way, like in a respectful way, right? Like they respect his lyricism, his artistry, all that stuff, right? But it's just odd though, I would think from like a Drake standpoint, it's like, bro, if I'm getting ambushed, wouldn't you have my back regardless, right? Like my thing is like, think about like, again, I think we spoke last week about like industry friends, right? Like, bro, like you're like a brother to me, dog. So like if some dude who I was even slightly cool with was like coming at you in some kind of aggressive way, like there's no way I'm going to play the fence and just say, well, it's between them, they'll figure it out, right? Like if my allegiance is to you, even though I'm kind of okay with this other person, bro, I'm jumping in. Like, bro, like it's on. Like, we'll figure out how this works out later, you know? So I think that's just the odd part for like maybe Drake's camp or like people who are heavy Drake fans, where it's like, bro, this is allegedly like your boy, right? Like, fuck all that friendly shit on the other side. Like, bro, this is your guy. Jump in and just say something, you know? I think it's just odd how quiet it still is. And I still count this as being quiet because nothing was really being said here. So I think that's like the only confusing part. Again, maybe Drake has no real friends in the industry. Like maybe Yachty is also just like an industry friend who doesn't want to, you know, show that card, and he's just being politically correct to not fuck over his own money. But you would think like, bro, someone jump in and just say like, yo, boy, I got you, dog. Tag me in.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good theory, and something I was gonna mention as well is I feel like a lot of these industry relationships are fake, which is kind of like essentially what Kendrick was accusing Drake of being, was just a culture vulture of sorts who is aligning themselves with people just to like absorb their swag and have this fountain of youth. And I know like one particular influencer in real life and on the gram, you would swear to God, like she would die for some of these other influencers she would hang out with, and then behind scenes I'd find out they don't fuck with each other because like over the pettiest little thing, by the way, not like, oh, she stole my boyfriend. It's like, oh, this bitch like, you know, didn't let me know about this audition next week or some shit, like something like that. So on a grand level, like I can imagine that happens more often than we think. And on top of that, it kind of makes me again question like the merit of Drake. And you know, does Yachty know about some scummy shit that he's done and he doesn't like fully put both feet into defend my boy lane, and that's why he's kind of playing the fence? Or is Yachty doing it because he realizes like nobody is gonna give a fuck or take him seriously with his opinion, because he's the quite exactly the opposite of Kendrick, like as in terms of artistry.
Yeah. Well, I think artistry, they're probably more similar because they take, I mean, maybe different. Like, I guess there's different ways to create art.
I guess like lyricism, I mean.
Yeah. There's just different ways. Yeah, I get what you're saying though. Yeah, man, it's just interesting. Again, I am excited for like when all of this settles down and like you just start to understand what truly, I guess we'll really understand when Drake comes back, right? And who at that time is going to be like on an album with him, right? Like that's, I mean, in a weird way, bro, he's almost like gonna have to take the Gunna route, right? Like you're gonna have to be by yourself, bro, and prove, bro, this guy's insane, and prove that like you don't need anybody else, right? And I don't think he does, but I think from like a hit standpoint or a content standpoint, that's probably what's gonna have to happen, dude. Because yeah, I don't know, bro. Like you would just think the way people are not running to his defense or running to at least comment on a thing like, oh no, you guys got it wrong, like bro, no one's saying anything, dude. And again, I don't know if people are also jumping in to say Kendrick is this thing, but it's almost like they just don't want to be a part of it, right? Like they just don't, bro, because besides Metro and like Rick Ross, like no one else really saying shit either, you know? So like just very, again, it's going to be very interesting when they make like a documentary of like a real documentary of like behind the music for this shit, because it's like, again, it's just weird because we've been fed, it feels like we've been fed almost lies about how this industry was for the last 10 years, right? Because dude, I would have been convinced that Future and Drake were like brothers, bro. Yeah. Like, bro, yeah, you came from a different background, so did I, but dude, we vibe and we can just be in a booth and we're always together, blah, blah, blah. And then for this to be the real way that dynamic is just crazy.
I mean, a sick part of me loves it. Not because I want to see like, I don't want to see careers fall apart and families shaken up or anything. I like, even if the truth hurts, sometimes I like for it to come out. Especially in an industry where the fake bullshit like is masking, you know, such a dark behind the scenes environment that seem like rumors that we would never see come to light, and now all of a sudden we got video footage and people giving their stories and stuff. I don't know if the Drake situation's as dark as anything else like the Diddy situation, but you know, if these guys were never boys, I'm glad it's happening now and they can just stop with the lies and live their own lives and give us the real them and talk about it, make good music or whatever. But do you think Drake, if he does end up aligning with someone, do you think it's going to hurt him now that Kendrick's basically painted him as this Atlanta colonizer or colonizer of cultures, to where if he does something now with the next hot up and coming guy from Texas or some shit, now all of a sudden he's adopting the lingo and his new single is going to get overshadowed by that?
Not if it's a banger, bro. Like that's the thing. I think we give, and by we, like you and I, and like people who truly love this shit, I think we give these guys too much. I think we give the artists too much credit, and I think we give casual listeners too much credit, right? Because if people truly gave a fuck, they wouldn't be losing their minds the way Not Like Us comes on when it comes on the radio, right? Or speaker. Like they would truly be like, bro, relax. We can't, like, how are you, like, I think Flagrant spoke about this like 2 weeks ago. Like, how are you truly excited about this guy making a melody about some wild, disgusting shit if it's true, right? I think he's making it because he knows it's not true, but there's enough truths in the lie that it's fun, right? But I think if people truly gave a fuck, they wouldn't listen to that shit, bro. So I think the same thing, like the other way is true. Like if people actually gave a fuck what he said about Drake being a colonizer, then sure. But I don't think they give a fuck, bro. Like they don't. Like I think Kendrick stans are gonna be like, nah, bro. Like, see, I told you. It's like, all right, bro. Like you were never gonna listen to shit anyway. So yeah, I don't put any credit in that because I just don't think the casual fan who consumes 90% of this shit gives a fuck, bro. Like both sides, right? Because if you
even Drake himself,
what do you mean?
Like, do you, if he's in the lab thinking about his next move, do you think in the back of his mind he's like, man, I really want to tap into this sound, but like I'm feeling a little self-conscious about it because the world thinks I'm just this culture vulture?
No, man. I'm gonna say no, only because I'm gonna think an artist of that stature is more secure, right? Like again, I know he's taking a step back because you can't be an idiot, right? Like, bro, assess the situation, read the room. Like the audience is telling you you're not the guy right now. Cool. But I also think, dude, you can't have that many hits without being super secure in who you are as an artist, bro. Like, and again, like it's in hindsight now because he's done it so many times as far as like, you know, collaborating with different kind of genres and stuff like that. We see it could be easy to say us, oh, bro, look, he's doing it again. But bro, at the time, dude, when he dropped Views and he had all those different like Caribbean songs, bro, that was a massive risk at the time. Like people initially like, bro, what are you? I think you're a hip hop artist. Like, why are you doing this? And then that became the sound for like the next 7-8 years, bro. So like, I feel like he's secure enough in his artistry that he would only make a song regardless if it's a collab or not, because he believes that this is a good kind of song to make. I don't think he's going to care about, oh, Kendrick said I can't do a song with Atlanta guys, so I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I think with this beef, I feel like it's like you just watch somebody get their ass absolutely destroyed on the street. No Diddy. And you're standing by and you're like, fuck, should I like chime in? Like, I don't want to get my ass beat.
Like if you're one of Drake's boys?
Yeah. And I'm sure they probably have like subliminal tweets and stuff floating around that, you know, no one really cares about because they're not A-list celebrities. But as far as the A-listers go, I think oddly enough, I think they just are kind of concerned about looking stupid and potentially losing a bag or burning bridges that they don't need to burn necessarily. So
either way, right? Because I feel like there are probably people who do want to jump in and like, not say defend Drake, but just maybe give an opinion that's going against the masses, and they don't want to be like, oh, bro, we didn't know you supported PDF people, like something stupid, bro. Like so, yeah. So yeah, again, I feel like it'll play out. I do think it will be interesting as the summer months come closer. Like, what's the vibe, right? Because I personally think Drake is going to disappear until like December. But bro, if like in 2 months, it's clearly like, yo, there's a clear path here for you to, you know, drop a summer banger and just take over the scene before the year's over. I wonder if he'll get that itch to do something. But dude, for a question for you, bro, I only asked this because again, I listened to the Flagrant podcast earlier and it kind of echoed some thoughts I had. Because bro, like I feel like some of the comments under some of our recent posts, like even though we obviously appreciate the engagement, so keep commenting. I'm not saying don't, but it does feel like, dude, even my cousin Aiden, shout out to Aiden if you're listening. It's like people are very strong about like, oh no, like Kendrick is saying this about Drake because it's matter of fact. And like, you're stupid for thinking it wouldn't be 100% accurate. And I'm just like, bro, like I'm not gonna have a back and forth with you because like I have better things to do. But like it's strange, bro, how like people are like, oh no, bro, yeah, he is a PDF thing. Like that's a thing. And it's like, bro, that's definitely not a thing. Like that's not like 100%. Like, dude, like he'd be, I don't know, it's just weird, bro. Like I feel like a lot of people are very confident. Again, first of all, like we talk about this. If you have time to make a comment on a social media post, like there's other conversations to be had about you. But it was odd that it was a consistent trend of like, if you didn't fuck with Drake, you were also very adamant that those comments about him were accurate. And I'm just like, that seems hard to like stand behind. You can say he's getting bodied in this beef and that Kendrick is mopping him, because that's fine. But it's weird how like you can't separate the two. Like that was very interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it's their confirmation bias and them just wanting it to be true because they don't like him. It would help them contextualize why he's so big, you know, the conspiracy of you got to do like weird, creepy shit to be in the in crowd to make it. And they honestly want to see his demise. So like what's more exciting to learn that the guy you want taken down is potentially one of the scummiest,
the worst people
on the
world.
planet.
Yeah.
Like probably the worst thing you could be labeled as. And it's exciting because it's like if that is true in any way, shape, or form, there's literally no excuse. It's not like a Diddy situation where you'd be like, oh, I was kind of pissed off. I mean, even that shit's bad enough, but to say that you're messing and preying on children, like that shit is, there's no coming back from that. Like most people would happily watch you burned alive if that were true. So I think that's what it is they don't want to give him any benefit of the doubt at all. In their minds, they already think he's some soft weirdo who would do some shit like that. And the song sounds great. So it's like, we can't replace the lyrics now. Like, you take out the A minor bar, what the fuck are we going to say at that part? So like, it's gotta be true. And it would invalidate the entire fucking, or not the entire, but like half the beef if it weren't true in any way, shape, or form.
Which is what I've been saying. Side note. But dude, it was funny though, dude, because one of the comments was like, oh, bro, but almost that point, like, oh, if Kendrick can't say that, then what did you want him to say? I'm like, bro, literally anything else. Bro, like, there's so many other things like that you could just like pinpoint at Drake as far as like flaws you may perceive for him to have. So again, I'm not changing the results of the beef. It was just odd though. Like it seems that there's more, instead of Kendrick supporters, it was surprised how loud the Drake haters are. And like it was just very interesting how like, no, dude, this is what happened. Like he is a PDF person. Like this is a fact. I'm like, bro, like how are you so confident about this, bro? We don't know anything. Again, I'm not confident that he's not. Right? Like I'm fully aware that I wasn't aware until Tuesday that Diddy kicked the shit out of Cassie, bro. Like these things we get information as we do, but like it was just very odd that people are so adamant that this is 100% certainty he is these things. I'm just like, bro, you can root for Kendrick, but not also be like, all right, maybe that part was a little bit like crazy, blah, blah, blah. So that part is just like very interesting, bro. When people start, again, we want the engagement, bro. So trust me, I'm not saying stop it. But when people start engaging in topics they don't actually agree with you with, it's pretty interesting how aggressive they are with just like, you're a mark. This is what this is. You know, I'm like, bro, like, what?
It kind of reminds me of our old like Kevin Samuels video.
Like the red shit. Yeah.
But I think the problem is, like I've noticed a lot of our clips just so happen to be applauding Drake for certain moments in the beef. I don't know if we had enough Kendrick snippets that showed the other side of the arguments that we had. So I think I'm interested to see if like what some Drake haters would say, because I follow both Reddits and I noticed a lot of Drake fans reaching with Kendrick as well. Like they posted a picture of Kendrick standing next to Diddy and they're like, birds of a feather flock together. You could take any fucking person who happened to take a picture with Diddy and say the same thing. They try to say the bar when he's like, you're gonna make me bring back Puff, meant that like Kendrick's condoning what he did to Cassie and shit. And someone was like, how dare Kendrick say this after the video comes out? I'm like, nigga, the video came out like 3 weeks after the fucking diss song. What are you talking about? Like that, like it's, I don't know. I think everyone on both sides just really wants to, they're like playing judge and jury, basically. Like they want to find any pattern or connection to be like, this person is actually like the biggest domestic abuser ever, and this one loves little children. There's no debate. Like it's wild.
There's no debate. There's no debate, and that's my thing, bro. Like again, there it is debate, bro. We live for debate. Like that's what like life is, and it's just hard when like again, it's hard to try to have like a back and forth with anyone, right? Which is why like, I refuse to respond to certain comments because like, bro, like whatever I say, you're not even trying to see my side. So then what am I arguing? You know what I mean? Like a debate is like, all right, dude, let me hear your take. I may not agree with you, but I would love to hear your side of it because maybe it'll like loosen up on my stance. But like that's why, dude, I've stopped talking in my like New York chat about rap. I'm like, bro, like, nah, bro, I don't get clicks for this. I don't get likes for this. Like, you guys are so adamant about your one stance that, dude, what's the point of engaging? Because you're not even trying to hear the other side, right? Like, again, it's the joke I made of like putting your hands in your ears and just going la 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 la. It's like, bro, like, all right, man, like, cool. Kendrick won, bro. Like, I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. So it's just that, man. It's very interesting when, like, again, especially because we have the show and we're always up for like, I kind of get you, but this is what I think, right? It's odd when like people are so like on either side. It's like, bro, like, let's just talk about it.
Right. I think the problem is a lot of people just don't. So you build this habit of like, let me just cuss you out and say fuck your grandma, because like, I know you're not gonna provide a productive rebuttal to me, because half the time I'll comment and I'll try to be nice at first, like explain why, you know, we suck Drake's dick apparently. Like, all we said was this bar was dope and now we're fucking Drake dick riders. What are you talking about? And then sometimes they'll surprise me and respond and be like, well, I disagree with this point because, well, other times they're like I hate your t-shirt, like fuck you. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not gonna respond now.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Yeah, again, I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, look at you, like, yo, you and your 25 followers, get the fuck out of my comment section. But like, it's just hysterical, bro. But again, it's good debate. Obviously, it's why we have the pod in the first place. But yeah, I think I'm excited for when all this things settle down. And I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, but like in a couple years, it'd be very interesting to see how all this plays out, bro, because I don't think we've ever had a situation. Again, I know, I was young enough, but still old enough to remember the Jay-Z stuff. But like, people kind of moved on within a year. But I think with social media, this becomes like so much bigger than it actually is, that this one might be harder for people to move on from. Like within the industry, like, you know, people make up back in the day because like they don't want to fuck up the bag because, oh, I need this guy. But now it's like, I don't really think anyone really needs anyone anymore, bro. Like, I can make something go viral on TikTok and I'm going to be fine. Right. So, it'll be very interesting to see, you know, how things play out over time, but it is what it is. Again, keep commenting on our stuff. We appreciate the engagement. One last thing before we get out of here and move on to Heat of the Week. I officially hate TikTok again. Universal Music Group came to an agreement with TikTok to put all their songs under the brand of UMG back on TikTok. So that means this song, I won't play it so we don't get canceled by YouTube, but $1 Million Baby by Tommy Richmond plays every 5 seconds. As long as you're on TikTok, that song is going to pop up, bro. And I see myself brushing my teeth and like humming along. I'm getting ready and like and sing. I'm like, bro, what am I even singing? I don't even know the lyrics, like, bro, but I fucking hate TikTok, bro. Like that's the stuff about, like, I was actually happy when like it didn't have songs and people were just doing different, like more creative sounds. But now it's like every video that has nothing to do with the song in any way is the background. It's just like, this is the worst.
That's what, and I'm glad you brought up that last point, because that's what inflates the streams for the song. It's not even, that's why I stopped placing emphasis on like, oh, I need to go viral. I mean, obviously it'll help, you know, generate revenue and opportunities and shit down the road. But like my brother Corey, who posts a lot of fitness and fashion videos, I know a lot of times he's choosing songs just because they're trending. So, and he like for sure doesn't give a fuck about the song off of social media. So I'm like, then why are we championing this song for having 8 billion views or whatever when people are just using it because they know the fucking 5 girls who started the trend like the song, but it's not the 8 billion people. And then we move on 2 months later. Like, it's just insanity to me.
Insanity, bro. And again, and then it also makes you start hating a song that actually is good.
Right.
Like, you could actually enjoy the song, but you're like, bro, like, I don't have to hear this song every 5 seconds. Like, like it's your cat giving you a high five. It doesn't have to be that song.
Right. Yeah. It sucks too, because it's usually like the same 8 seconds or whatever that people want to hear. And you just get fatigued when you hear it over and over. Like, and the sad thing is that's part of the marketing process and why I couldn't stand uploading my own music like to these platforms, because I'm like, these 7 seconds are torture to me now. Like, I fucking hate this song at this point. And by the time it comes out, you're only gonna want to hear that 7 seconds, and the rest of this shit you're not gonna care about because you felt like you heard this song like a billion times already.
Like the Jack Harlow effect, right? With that whole like
I can't stand that song really anymore. Loving on Me or whatever. It sounded dope the first like couple weeks.
Well, even that one, but even the one before that, was it the one that he
the Fergie.
The Fergie one,
interpolation or whatever. Yeah.
It's like, bro, like by the time that song came out, I was like, bro, fuck that, bro. Like, I'm over it, bro. So yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's like, again, I understand the tool that TikTok can be, and also like Instagram Reels, but yeah, bro, that shit makes these songs so saturated, bro. And again, this is like maybe like the old head in me, but I remember like being on the radio, like, yes, like they would push certain songs, like you got that. But you would also have to wait like an hour, bro. Like, you know, like it'd be a part of the next hour. It wouldn't be like in 1 hour slot, you hear the same song 7 times, bro. Like,
right.
So yeah, it's odd, bro. And again, I get the why, but it just, the way we can, it makes the consumption of some of this shit like not fun, bro. Like, I almost like don't want to add that song to a playlist that I fuck with, because I'm like, I almost feel like a fraud for liking it. Right. And I should just like it because I like it. But now I'm like, you're forcing me to like it, bro. And I don't want to like it.
And I know we talked about this before the show, but my brother had sent me that song before, because I'm not really on TikTok at all. And he sent it to me and I liked it when I heard it. And then once I found out it was viral on TikTok, even though I'm not hearing it on TikTok, it made me kind of want to listen to it less. Kind of like the Panda Dunks. Like, I can't stand those shoes anymore because I see literally like 300 pairs a day, and it drives me nuts.
You know what's so annoying about that is like, dude, I got those in 2020 before they were like a thing, and like, and I love those sneakers when I got them, bro. Like, I love them. Like, they go with everything. Yeah. And then within 6 months, I'm like, bro, I can't wear these anymore, bro. Yeah. Like, and I'm like,
you can't defend yourself and be like, I'm not a poser. Look, like, here's the receipt.
Here's the receipt. 2019. Like, yeah, bro. That's crazy. I think the idea of like being turned off by what the masses do is not a new thing, but it just feels so heightened because of social media, right? Because if one person likes it, bro, this shit just spreads like wildfire, bro. Like, I'm lucky, like, bro, a lot of people don't even know what this hat is, right? So when I go out, people still ask me what it is, right? But like, bro, within 6 months, if enough people keep wearing this hat, it seems like, bro, I don't want to wear that hat anymore, bro. It's just whack, you know? So like, I know, man, it's tough, man. It's just, you want to see certain things that you like become liked by others, but I feel like there's definitely a line, and like $1 Million Baby, Pandas, like, they have surpassed that. It's just like, all right, bro, like, you can have it, bro. I'll move on to something else. Like, it's fine.
You know what's crazy too is, because I'm on YouTube and that's where I find like new beats and stuff, and I've been looking lately, this stuff trickles into beat makers as well, because they know artists are going to try to like recreate that kind of sound. So recently I've been looking for beats, and I keep seeing Tommy Richmond or whatever his name is, $1 Million Baby type beat. And they're basically making a similar beat to that. And I'm like, damn, this is eventually it's just going to be all AI generated, and you just plug in whatever is viral at the time and, you know, try to make a song off of that. And then before you know it, creativity's mostly dead.
If not already, bro. I think we're almost there, to be honest. I was gonna ask you, are there a lot of Not Like Us beats popping up, or is like that song such a banger that people are like, bro, I don't even want to try to make my own version of that?
Probably the latter. I've seen a lot of people trying to do remixes of it. I think people just want to ride the wave of
like a freestyle over that, you mean?
Yeah. Because I don't think without the allegations and stuff, it's like the beat is dope, but I don't think you can just like magically recreate that viral moment just because you want a mustard beat. I think people would rather ride the wave of the allegation and still have that hot beat and like put their own spin on it.
Fair. That makes sense. For you then, I guess you kind of like gave us a segue. So how is I didn't even do. We're essentially, by the time this comes out, it's probably going to be already like either right a week before June. So we're halfway through the year. So what do you envision for like the Blair Anthony projects for the rest of the year?
It's tough to say. I've been going through ebbs and flows of like creative moments and then not so much. But right now, I think I finally finished writing something I'm proud of. I don't want to jinx it. Basically trying to finalize a beat for it because I had written to it on one beat and then I decided on something that was a bit faster. And then I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what mood fits the lyrics, but fortunately it can kind of go with lots of different styles. But I would say this one's more hip hop, not like chorus or hook centric. So
like as in like more like lyrics focus.
Yeah, more lyrics focus. I probably credit the beef to that a little bit. I think the beef kind of made everyone a bit more like
aware of what people are saying.
Aware of what people were saying, their pen game. And it kind of just inspired me to tap into my best self. So hopefully that one comes out. Shit, it's already the end of May, maybe mid-June or so.
Okay, so soon.
Not gonna rush it, but I definitely want it here before summer is like in full effect.
So the beef. So like, are you, when you run, like, were you running and like trying to make up a song in your head as well, or like is like what's your like? I forget like what's your like, only because the running is a new thing you picked up recently. Mm-hmm. Were you able to like use that time on the road to like actually like process songs in your head, or like is your creative process you need to be sitting down and actually like writing stuff down?
The latter. So mostly sitting down. So I'll kind of like window shop for beats without even like anything in mind. I'll just be like, I follow several channels, but I'll be like Travis Scott type beat, Baby Keem type beat, and I'll just listen to like 30. And sometimes I'm like, this one sounds good, but I don't really have an idea in mind. But I'll like listen to it 3 or 4 times, and then I'll think of a couple lyrics. I'm like, okay, let me just continue with this theme, and then before you know it, I've written like an entire thing. But I think this one was easier because a lot of times I'm super like I love hooks that are dope and you want to hear over and over, but this one I didn't want to overthink it. I was like, let me just rap, because I know a lot of rappers we admire they have songs where there is no hook, or like maybe the hook is some simple ass thing that's repeated. So this is one of those instances where I was like, stop overthinking it, just say what's on your mind and
just do it.
If there is a hook, cool. If there's not, like at least the beat is nice and the flow is nice.
Yeah, dude, can't wait, bro. That'll be fun. Don't say anymore. I don't want you to jinx it. Be like, you know what? Like kind of like me going to London. I should, dude. The moment that Gina told me the flights were oversold, I'm like, this is what I get for sharing this great moment I was about to have. Like, I literally thought that, bro. I'm like, this is what I get, because like, bro, I never tell. Like, I'm in this weird mindset. I don't know if you are as well. So like, I'll share like how I feel about something sometimes. Like, I think it goes back to my mom's. Like, my mom, like rest her soul, like she always had like big aspirations for stuff, but she was always the person to kind of tell everyone about her plans before they truly came to fruition. So like, I've always like kept that in mind. So I like to like keep things close to the chest until they're done, bro. Like, you know, like drop shipping, like, or whatever thing where I have idea or company ideas, like, bro, like I'm doing it now, I'll share it with you, right? Like, for example, like I got married. All right, now I'll share the pictures. Like, I'm not trying to do this. Like, Gina wanted to do this whole thing. Like, let's post like a countdown showing the picture of each table, like with the 10, the 9, the 8. I was like, bro, like, and the reason why is like, bro, I don't think friends and families are haters. but like there's also a level of like envy where like they may say the nice things to you, but in the back of their mind, they're like, I kind of wish that was me doing it, bro. So like when the soccer thing didn't work out, I'm like, bro, this is what I get for telling people I'm going to London on a 2-day trip just for a fucking soccer game, bro. Like that was like negative karma coming back at me. So I'm like, bro, I'm done doing that shit, bro. Like,
yeah,
I'll show pictures, there'll be signs, but I'm done telling people my plans beforehand.
Yeah, no, I'm the same exact way. And even though there's I'd like to believe there's not some random force out there like, haha, bitch, like I push the red button like as soon as you thought you were gonna get this, but like, yeah, whether it's like jobs or anything like that, I'm always like, let me not tell anyone, because if it doesn't work out, then I just kind of feel dumb, or like I empowered them to like laugh at me if they secretly hate me or some shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely feel you on that one.
Yeah. So we'll keep we'll bring up the Blair Anthony stuff when there's a project for people to go download moving forward. But all right, bro, let's get into it. Episode 178 about to be in the books. But before we do that, heat of the week. Oh my God, what is a song that everyone should go and peep this that you heard over the weekend?
I almost totally forgot, but funny quick story related to
go for it.
New songs. So on Spotify every week there's what they have, release radar, which is basically new songs from artists you follow. And I noticed my name popped up and I was like, what the fuck? I haven't recorded anything anytime soon. But I realized it was a song I recorded with my brother Corey and his friend who raps, like I think it was like 3 years ago or something.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was
3 years ago is not that long ago, bro. So this is like during like you were already releasing songs under Blair Anthony or before that?
Yeah, I was already releasing songs.
Okay. So 2021. It wasn't like some fucking 2015 song or something.
But I was certain he was never going to release it because I'm like, it's not like you have to talk to some label and get a bunch of sample clearance and shit. Like you're either going to release it soon or not. But anyways, it popped up and I was confused at first, but I was like, oh shit, like we recorded this, and it was I don't know, just nice to hear it because I hadn't heard it ever since I first recorded it. And that's very rare because when I record my own music, I've heard the song 6,000 times by the time everyone else has heard it. So that was interesting. I'll send it to you. The song is called Conversation by King Hefe, Alexander Randall, which is Corey, and then me. So I'll send that to you.
Nice.
But my heat of the week is a new artist. This dude, Eric Reprid. The song is called 25. This is an Asian dude based out of Vancouver, I want to say. But funny enough, he went viral because he had this rap snippet where he basically says he gets so much pussy he might switch to bussy, and pretty sure he did that on purpose to go viral, which he did. But I think ironically or unironically, Moon, I had sent him the clip and like he's like, oh, the beat's actually dope, and I'm like, yeah, it is. So I checked out his other music, and this song was actually like unironically very good.
Okay.
No like shock value bars. I would say he kind of sounds like a mix between Playboi Carti and Drake, believe it or not. But I like this song. It's called 25. The beat's very nice, and I think if anyone who likes, trap-ish, R&B-ish stuff like Drake, I think it would be a good listen.
Nice. I'll definitely keep that. Send that to me. I want to Steve on the fucking mic because apparently this mic is very clear now. But you said 25?
Yeah, 25.
Nice. I feel like a lot of artists are going to start using numbers the teens just to be safe for like. I'm not taking any fucking chances, bro. 43 is the number.
It's funny.
Of course I have consent. She has a fucking 19-year-old. All right, dude. So my heat of the week is a bit of a throwback. Blair probably already knows because I was telling him how well this is aging. So my song is Fuck Some, Playboi Carti. What was on this? Is it Playboi Carti, Ty Dolla $ign, Kanye?
Was Quavo on it or no?
Yeah, Quavo. Yeah, I couldn't see the whole thing. No, that's not it. Because Quavo's on
No,
Paperwork.
that was a different one. He was on the original version, I think, that never got released.
Okay, so whatever. You know what I'm talking about. It's Playboy Cardi. Oh, and Travis.
Yeah, Travis.
Yeah. So, dude, I listened to that album again, just because again I needed a break from Drake, and the whole Kendrick stuff, and yeah, dude. Again, I forgot how well that album is, and it's no skips. Interesting enough though, man. I was thinking that that Not Like Us was like the first like West Coast inspired banger that we've had in a long time. And it probably is, right, to that level, because I don't think any of these songs did that well besides Carnival on the on Vultures. But you can tell, like, definitely Ty Dolla $ign was tapped into like what the sound they're trying to move on to in LA is, because like there's a few songs on this album that sound like at least Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign trying to go there. Maybe they didn't achieve it, but like there's enough for like a lot of West Coast influence, and like that might be obvious because obviously it's Ty Dolla $ign, but still like it's Kanye, so you would think he would follow Kanye's lead, but there's a very heavy West Coast influence on this album, which was very refreshing that it wasn't about like pedophilia and, you know, Drake and stuff. So it was nice.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I hope so, because I mean, if anyone can change the trends, it's them. And I'm personally, as much as I love like the Atlanta trap sound, I'm kind of overwhelmed by it at this point. Like, I'll enjoy it, but I quickly move on. I'm like, okay, what's the next thing? Because I've heard a bunch of other songs that already kind of sound like this. So if they do go back to some more West Coast influence sound, I'm definitely here for it.
I'm here for it, bro. I feel like these things come in waves, and again, I feel like Dr. Dre had this on. No, I think Dr. Dre and Snoop had this on lock like back in the late 90s and early 2000s. So imagine, dude, we're 24 years removed from that time. So maybe it's time for it to come back around, you know? So, yeah. But yeah, definitely. If you guys haven't listened, I mean, I feel like everyone who listens to this podcast already listened to Vultures, but I would give it a re-listen, because I do think people were, I think at least me personally, I think I went through it more excited for like the shock factor of having Kanye back, as opposed to just listening it to listen and appreciate the lyricism and production stuff. So on second, third, fourth go around, like it's a very well done album, like very well done.
Yeah, agreed. Do you think version 2 is going to be out anytime soon? Because I know it exists. I heard it, but
no, I don't think we get it this year. If we get it at all, I think, yeah, bro, I don't know, bro. It's like he's, you know, we already know he's weird, bro. Like, Ye is weird. So I feel like maybe he feels some kind of way because the spotlight's not on him, but I don't know, bro. Like, I don't see it dropping, dude. But apparently, like, all his energy is going towards this whole porn thing that he's doing.
Like rebrand thing. Like, what does it stand? Doesn't it stand for? Isn't it an acronym for something or some shit?
Well, I think the acronym is WET, right? I could be wrong, but I know he's selling tank tops for females that say wet, and that thing is going viral as fuck, bro.
The fuck?
Like, if you type in Kanye wet tank tops, like, you'll just see like every bad bitch in the history of Instagram wearing it right now.
No, I see. Oh, I see his wife.
Well, she counts. But yeah, I think he's putting more energy towards the porn thing than he actually is on, let me drop this part 2 of this album. Which is wild, dude. I think back, not to make this like a Kanye rant for the last like 5 minutes of this pod, but dude, think back to when he dropped Jesus is King, and we were having real discussions if we're ever going to have like Kanye rapping on a song again. Mm-hmm. And then fast forward, not even 5 years later, he's like, I'm going to start doing porn. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but then he's going to try to spin it and be like, WET stands for like, we enjoy, I don't know, tithes or some shit, like something completely unrelated to what it obviously is meant to do, which is just show some titties. Or
yeah, and he's to make us feel like we're the idiots. Like, how dare you limit your brain this way? It's like, bro, shut fucking the heathen. Fuck. Yeah, shut the fuck up, dog. Oh man. All right, episode 188 in the not 188, bro, 178 in the books. My G, let the people know where they can find us, what we got going on. Let's get out of here.
Yes, catch us at audio-theory.com. New episode every week on all platforms. We also have the Heat of the Week playlist on both Spotify and Apple Music on the site. And if you're on YouTube, check down below. We got merch for you to cop. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, donate, comment, do what you can to support the channel.
Do what you can. I'm a dude. Peace. Love you.
Peace. Love you too.